Dar significa to give, certo? Nem sempre. Oi, pessoal, sejam bem-vindos. Hoje vamos falar sobre expressões como o verbo dar, que não dá para traduzir literalmente para o inglês. Além disso, vamos discutir 4 perguntas. Oi, eu estava editando esse vídeo, percebi algumas coisas importantes que eu esqueci de falar. Na verdade, tem 6 perguntas em vez de 4 que você pode se fazer. E, gente, dar tem muitas traduções. Espero que esse vídeo facilite para você. Vamos continuar. Vou fazer grande parte da explicação em inglês, então esse vídeo vai ser um pouco mais avançado. Se tiver dificuldade para entender, pode sempre fazer perguntas nos comentários e eu vou responder. É isso aí, vamos lá. Alright, let's get started. The first question is that followed by an action or activity? If the answer is yes, then there are 3 possibilities. That can translate to take, go for, or just the verb itself. So dar uma volta, dar uma olhada, volta, it comes from the verb voltar. Olhada comes from the verb olhar. So that's why dar translates to take. Take a walk, take a look. So what's the difference between take and go for? Well, if you're going to go outside of your house or outside, then dar translates to go for. So dar uma corrida would be go for a run. Dar un paseo, go for a stroll. And then there are times when it sounds more natural to just use the verb itself. Okay, so what I actually meant is not necessarily more natural because you can always use the verb itself. But if you want to be perceived as more polite or more friendly, similar to in Portuguese, you can say take or go for. So just like in Portuguese, you say vou dar uma olhada versus vou olhar. What I understand, vou dar uma olhada is more polite, more friendly. Same in English, I'm going to take a look is perceived more friendly than I'm going to look. And that's the difference. For example, you can say I'm going to walk, simply take a walk. Or in this case, if you're going outside of your house, you can say I'm going to go for a walk. So here I have some more examples. Dar gole is take a sip. It's the action of sipping. Dar mergulho is to take a dip. All right, but context is important. Dar uma volta, when you are walking, it translates to let's take a walk or let's walk around. But if you are on a bike, on a boat, in a car, then dar uma volta does not translate to take a walk. It translates to take a drive, or it could also translate to take a spin. What's the difference between take a spin and take a drive? Take a spin, it's focused on fun. And also when you have the intention of testing, let's say you want to test car or test the bike, you might say, I'm going to take my Ferrari for a spin. I'm going to take my bike for a spin. While take a drive, you can just be doing it just to relax or pass time. The second question that you can ask yourself, is that followed by a noun or abstract concept? If it is, then I'm sorry. Unfortunately, you must memorize the expression because it does not translate word for word. For example, dar branco, word for word, it would translate to give a white, which doesn't make any sense. Instead, me deu branco, in English, we would say, I blinked out. I blinked out during the exam. Ela deu fora nele, she turned him down. Dar show, to put on a show. Ele deu show, he put on a performance. The third question, is that referring to a specific date, day, or event? So anytime you're talking about when something's going to happen, then dar will translate to fall on, happen on, or be on. So for example, their wedding is going to fall on October 5th this year. O aniversário de casamento deles vai dar no dia 5. Dar translates to fall on. The party is going to happen on September 3rd. To happen, to fall on. The event is going to be on Friday. The fourth question you can ask yourself is, am I talking about if something is possible or not? In Portuguese, I love it because it's so short. Dá ou não dá? In English, it's a little bit more complicated. We have 3 different options. Dá, it's possible, it works, or I can, depending on the context. Não dá, it's not possible, it doesn't work, I can't. Also, depending on the context. All right, we're going to do a test. Imagine someone is asking if it's possible to schedule a meeting at 2 p.m. Dá para marcar a reunião às 14 horas? How would you translate the sentence? So there are 3 different translations. You can say, is it possible to schedule the meeting at 2 p.m.? Does scheduling the meeting at 2 p.m. work? Or can I schedule the meeting at 2 p.m.? I want to point out, I want to show you that work comes at the end of the sentence, while can and is it possible start the sentence. Okay, one more example. Imagine someone is asking if they can get tickets for a concert. So in this case, there are only 2 translations. Is it possible to get tickets for the concert, or can I get tickets for the concert? Does getting tickets for the concert work? Does not make sense in this context. Okay. So number 5 is, does dar describe a result? If it does, it translates to work out, go wrong, do well, fail. For example, deu certo is work out in English. O plano deu certo, the plan worked out. Dar errado is to go wrong or fail. Todo deu errado ontem. Everything went wrong yesterday. Okay, number 6. We've made it. If you've made it this far in the video, congratulations. Leave a comment telling us what you've learned so far in the video. And number 6 is dar being used to describe how people relate to each other? So for example, in Portuguese, to se dar bem com alguém, or to se dar mal com alguém. In English, we say to get along or to not get along, to hit it off with someone. Nos demos bem logo de cara would be we hit it off right away. Ela se dá bem com todo mundo would be she gets along with everyone. And the opposite, again, is to not get along or to have trouble with someone. Now to summarize, the 6 questions you can ask yourself to translate the verb dar to English. The first question is dar followed by an action or activity? If it is, it'll translate to take, go for, or the verb itself, like take a look. Number 2 is dar followed by a noun or abstract concept, like the example, dar branco translates to blank out. And remember, you must memorize these because they're idiomatic expressions. Also, another note here is that dar presente would translate to give a present, but that is not an idiomatic expression. Number 3 is dar referring to a date, day, or event. If it is, it translates to fall on, happen on, or be on. Number 4 is it about whether something is possible or not. If it is, it translates to is it possible? Can it be done? Does it work? Number 5, does that describe an outcome or result? If it does, then it will translate to work out or to not work out. And finally, number 6 is that being used to describe how people relate to each other. If it is, then it translates to get along or to not get along with someone. If you liked this video, be sure to subscribe and comment down below what you learned. Thank you again so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.
Quando você sorriu, chorei. Eu nunca pude imaginar que isso fosse acontecer. E numa bola de cristal, no futuro.